Okay, it's already on. So, hey, how was the week, Valentin?
Great, great, great. Although I couldn't talk to Slurpee, to Matthew yet about the weekly progress, as he wasn't on IRC.
Huh, weird. Don't you have any other means of contact with him?
I have his email address, but it's weird that he's not on IRC. He's always.
Skype as well if you need to get in touch with him, but not always there.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say if you can't find him like 2 days in a row in IRC, just use the Gmail address that you have.
Yes.
That should be good to get his attention. But in any case, I don't think that not being able to contact the coordinator for the weekly progress is something really to worry you.
It's really actually. There is a when we apply to the program, there is like a rule which states that you cannot like be absent in one week in a weekly meeting.
Oh, you mean that you have a weekly meeting with Slurpee
Yeah.
and you couldn't? I thought it was about the blog post. Sorry.
Yes, and yeah, and the weekly meeting is actually the three questions he asked in IRC and the blog post. It is
Okay.
not actually. It's not a Hangout or a Skype. It's not like
Yes,
that.
I know, I know. Okay, well, let's do it here then, right? So at least you've done it, and when you can find Slurpee, you can just do it again if needed, or you can send a link to this video. Do you think it's a good idea?
Yes, but I can talk to him after all. He will ask me anyway. Maybe
Okay,
we can focus on our business
okay,
actually.
okay, perfect. That's exactly what I want. So you will have to remind me, because this week I had some major personal events happening, and I don't remember where we were at. I think that you were starting with Facebook buttons, maybe?
Yeah, I already finished, let's say, the Facebook buttons, but when I try to create a Drupal project, it adds like a sandbox project. So
Yeah.
I would like to promote it as a full Drupal project so I can add a link in the Facebook like button page.
Valentin, do you have rights to do that yet?
No, I don't have.
Is it possible just to promote you? Can we do that, Matteo?
I have
No,
to
so
apply.
there's a process, and I think it will be a really good thing for you to go through the process. But I don't know if you want to do this process right now, because that
I
will
don't
take
want to do it
time.
right now.
Yeah, I think it'd be
Too
good.
long.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine.
So what I would do is I would leave it as a sandbox, and I would post a link into the social widgets, because this is like underneath in our module structure is underneath social widgets, right?
Yes.
So I would post a link in the social widgets project page listing, hey, there is this module inside of the social widgets initiative or submodule or whatever, and just post a link to the sandbox, and that should be enough for now. And when you have more time, you can come back and go through the process, because it's a real interesting process, and you will learn some things. Probably will not take that long for you because you already have experience, but it's a good thing nonetheless. So, and
It's
that goes to, sorry, and that is true for every integration module that we have, right? It should be listed in the project page of the parent module, like the Google login should be linked from the social auth,
And
etc.,
actually,
etc.
I'm actually working on the documentation, and I added some link to the current projects we have worked on.
Right.
So
That's perfect. That's perfect. We could reuse that link and put it in the project page because that's the first place that people land, and many people don't go beyond that page. So if you make it easy in that page for them to find other things, they will. If you don't, then they probably will have a hard time getting to discover this.
Valentin,
But
sorry, carry on.
no, that's it.
Okay, Valentin, where is the documentation going to be hosted? Is it going to be on Drupal.org?
it's in Drupal.org.
Perfect. Okay, and is the fact that you can't promote the that you're using sandbox repositories, is that detrimental to you at the moment? I mean, is it okay using that, or would you prefer that we just got someone to promote it that has the authority to do that?
Okay, the thing is that I don't have issue with applying for permission, but I really want to add a link from in my. Okay, I am the maintainer of Facebook like button, right? And many people download the project and install it on Drupal. My idea was to put up to add a link to the page to point directly to social widgets.
Yeah. So
Facebook button.
basically,
So we,
what this is
so
doing, you
now
you'll have to update once they turn out of sandbox into true repositories. You're going to have to update all the links and the URLs, right?
no, that's not the issue. The issue is that I want people to already have a full project so they can use Drush to download the dependencies,
And
for
they
example.
can't do that with a sandbox.
Well,
They cannot
no,
do that.
they cannot do that with Sandbox
But
because you cannot download projects from the Sandbox with Drush.
it's really about question of time now and energy, and you need to focus on coding and not be stopped by applying. So what I suggest is that we find someone who can. I mean, Mattia, what do you think that we find
I
someone who can just
I
promote all of
think
these and put them?
the, sorry. Yeah, there is this process, and it's on purpose. It's the project application project, and you need to go through the process to get the rights to publish projects on
Um,
Drupal.org. And there is no
I understand
shortcut.
that.
There is
That's
no,
not the issue.
no
That's not the problem. We can find people working on that want to work on the Drupal social initiative that are friendly and will promote these projects up to proper projects for us.
the, the yeah the issue with that is that then so we did this for the social auth, social widgets, etc. And
Yeah.
the thing is that the credit most time goes to the project author and not the project maintainer. And if you go to auth, you will see my name on those. And it's actually not really fair because
Yeah.
that's Valentin's work, right? And I know I won't be claiming any of that work, but I want Valentin's
You can
name
change
on
it
the
back.
project.
You can change it back, can't you? I think.
No, no, you cannot transfer authorship, or at least it's not an easy
Have a look at
process.
The Drupal social API. I'm pretty sure that I'm listed there now. Is it still Darren?
Yeah, but you have to create an issue in the Drupal to transfer ownership. But I don't have problem with ownership or anything like that.
No, I know that you don't. I'm just saying that let's
It's
fix
okay.
this problem when it's already up, when this becomes a problem,
Can
right?
I can I just say that I am listed as the owner of the social API, and I didn't start that. I did not start that module. It was Darren, so he transferred it to me. So when it gets transferred, then the owner is changed, and so actually, if that's what you mean by that is seen to be posting the initial comment. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get all of that, but yes, I think that that may be the case. In any case, I don't have any problem with anything, and I actually think that we should move on, right? If you want to just make a, you know, uh, I can create a project. I can promote a project. If you are good with that, just put a Trello card on it, and I will do it,
Wait
and
a
just move
minute,
on.
Mateo. I create a sandbox project and I can add maintainers. What happens if added you in the project? Can you promote it because you have the right permissions to do so?
Maybe, yeah,
We
maybe.
can try that first.
Yeah. Give it a go. Awesome. Sorry for
Yeah.
taking your time.
So you've been working on documentation. Care to send a link to that documentation page?
Yes, let me look at it because uh, isn't a isn't a shortcut to see where the documentations.
Uh,
You have
not,
to look at all the.
not really. Let me. Did
Okay,
you?
I it's in the same library than the Facebook auto post. So it
Okay, good.
should
That's good.
be
I'm gonna use that as a way to find it. Uh,
Facebook.
social API. I see it here.
You find it?
Where is
Yeah,
that? Can you post a link, please?
yeah. I'm doing it right
I
now.
started yesterday, so it's not.
Okay, I'm gonna paste it here, so maybe people will see it. I don't know, but it's
Right.
2762333.
Ah, very friendly.
Okay, I see. I like it. So you're using the structure, the hierarchical structure that we talked about the other day, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and I will. This will be the main handbook, and inside it we will have like the other documentation about social auth, and inside social auth we will have the modules about that use social auth.
Okay. One of the things that I think that is really, really important is that under the user authentication, auto posting, and widgets, we add a good detailed description of what those parts do. Like this is the crucial part of the project to me, right? Because that is what will allow integrators to know, okay, I need to create I know, an auto post submodule, or I need to create an auth submodule, right? So if they know what uh, an auto post submodule is and what it does and how you need to implement one, then this is key to the project's success, and also I think that is key to the documentation part uh, of your summer of code. So
Yes.
that's one of the things you probably had that in mind already.
Ac- Actually, I was thinking in making it in different pages. For
That's
example,
that's perfectly fine. And as long as the documentation is there and it's easy to find, you can organize it the way that you feel it feels more natural to you.
okay.
Looking really good.
So
Very impressed. Wonderful to see that. I'll put it up on the in a few days. I'll put it up on the group, and yeah.
let me work on that a little bit before.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um, So this is going to be really good for you to focus on this week. I know that working a whole week on documentation sucks, so you probably want to find some code to do during this week. Is there anything that you have in mind? Like I don't know,
I don't
maybe.
have I don't have issue in writing documentation all one a week, an entire week. I'm used to that.
I actually think that it can be a good thing for you to kind of do both things in parallel. Maybe 70% documentation, 30% code, but at least for many people, having like two things in happening at the same time helps them get focused when they get back to documentation or when they get back to code. But if that is not the case for you,
My idea is to document and actually rewrite the code of Google of social out Google so people have an idea of how to write an implementator. Is that okay?
yes, that was one thing that I wanted you to do next week, but you can do it this week. Like choose a module, you already did. You already chose the social auth Google, right? That's the name scheme that we defined the other day. Social auth Google, and put a lot of documentation in the code itself. So it can be our example module, right? And
Yes.
you could even put things like, hey, this is how you do it because Google wants things like this, but if you were to do something else, you may want to do it this way. So it's really an example, like the examples module. Do you know the examples project?
Sample projects of
It's
what?
a it's
Sample. Yeah, yes, I know. But
so
are they available there? I level. I haven't seen. I think it was the link was broken last week.
Uh, the examples module is a module that has a lot of sub. It's a project that has a lot of sub modules that show you how you can use the Drupal's cores APIs and how you can build stuff with Drupal core. So we could have something similar, but instead of Drupal core, the social API modules. I'm only bringing this up because it's a very good code for showing other people how you can do stuff. So if you download that and you open the code and you just look at the code for, I don't know, maybe half an hour, you will see how they document things, how they explain, I'm using this way because of this, and this. And this is the style that I think that it would be interesting to use.
Okay, so do you think an approach like the sample module will be better?
I think that it's the same that you were suggesting, like rewrite the social auth Google, but just add a lot of code comments in the code that explain why you are thinking, why you are doing things in the way that you are doing them.
Let
And
me
what?
show you what I was thinking actually.
Okay.
Okay, I wrote documentation, not actually my experience purchasing the a module to Drupal Edge when I was a GCI student, and I did it in, let me see, this,
Hmm.
but instead of just mentioning the code, I can talk about it and describe.
Oh, so what you're thinking is to what you're thinking is to do a blog post talking about the code, right?
Yes.
I was thinking to edit the module code itself to add
Yeah.
a lot of comments in there. Just hey, get a look at the examples module. Open something that you are interested in. If you are gonna read code, you better read something that you're interested in, and just read a little bit about that, and you will get a feeling of what I'm suggesting, and take your own decision. If you like the blog post approach better, then do the blog post approach. If you like the other one better, uh, you know, you choose. I feel like I'm here just to give you options and let you decide in this case.
Okay, I will look at it. What do you
Yeah.
think, Daniel?
Um, my gut feeling, which is totally not, coming from a developer point of view, but is that if it was actually in the code, as Matar was saying about the example project, then it would mean that people could just take code and maybe start playing with it, and also see the comments in there. That's totally an uninformed idea, but you two guys, are going to be far more understanding how a developer would find it useful, what they would find useful.
And just to be clear, what I'm suggesting is that you keep working on the documentation in the Drupal.org. That page that you started is perfect. But if you're going to start describing not only what Drupal Social API does and how it does it, but how you actually create a module, that's when you refer people to, hey, you are a developer, you want to build a module because you already know what all this strategy does, right? So go to this module and read the comments. It's very thoroughly commented, and copy and paste, and you're a developer. You don't need my to hold your hand. That's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah, yes, I understand.
Okay.
So I will work first on the documentation about how to use it, how to use the social API projects, and then I will work on the documentation for developers. Is that right? Is that okay?
Yes, and you decide if you want to do the commenting in the code or the blog post approach in the Drupal book.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that you want to talk about?
Um, no, just to ask the standard, do you have any technical questions that you wanted me to help you with?
No, so far.
Okay, okay, that's good. As usual, just ping me. I may be a little less available these weeks, but
Hmm.
I will try to find a moment to answer your questions.
May I bring one thing, which is uh, the question is for me is like, shall I bring other people in? And that's always a question for me because that's kind of my function in a way. And I've held back because of it just feels like now we're getting documentation a bit more together. I think still holding back, but almost ready. But wanted to hear about this idea of a call that was a bit later and maybe not on a Friday. And I just wanted to get your opinion. I heard you say in an email that you wanted to keep the Friday call. For me, doing two calls is very expensive in 1 week. So I wondered, do you not want to be involved in another call where we get more people in, or do you like the idea that is it Friday?
I,
But yeah,
no, I don't have a preference in a specific day.
right.
Um, I do have a preference in a specific time, though. Which is around this time. This is kind of the latest I can do, and this is kind of the earliest that Valentine's can do. I don't have a problem with bringing other people in
Great.
because that makes us lose focus on Valentine's project, and we start talking about things that don't help Valentine move forward.
Are you saying you do have a problem bringing too many people in?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, fine. Could we do this then? Perhaps is that we like to do half an hour. Could we do, if possible? I'd like to move it to Tuesday because it's just or I think Wednesday is not good for one of you, and Tuesday seems to be good for one of you or both of you.
I cannot do it on Tuesday,
You cannot.
but I just want to know if you receive, I don't know, messages from people that want to get involved somehow.
Yeah, I mean there've been at least three people. Remember, we had another guy on the maintainer of a module, and there was another guy who had signed up to be part of the call last week, was it? But then that one got deleted. But yeah, I think you see, we're not posting in the group. We're not promoting this. So it's just there's no information going out. So, and I am not going out because I sense that, when I do say this, it's kind of not ready yet, not ready yet, and that's fine, that's fine. But I'm concerned that if we've only got maybe 2 or 3 weeks of the project, right?
Technical part, you can say then that I would like to talk to them, so we see
Yeah.
what can we do for the project.
What?
And actually looking at an opportunity with the hybrid auth, because there are people that are asking for an alternative for hybrid auth in Drupal 8.
Great.
So, but I want to finish with the documentation first before posting the links to social auth.
Cool.
In
So what I'm
other.
wondering is, this is a question. So maybe we is Wednesday good for both of you?
It is for me.
It,
Yeah.
it is Wednesday.
So if because that's better for me, because Friday I tend to be traveling. So if we did a Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and then we ran that for half an hour, and then after that point we would say, listen, we're going to have half an hour of no one else talk, and then we bring other people in, so that then it would be one call. So basically, Mateo, then you could be there for the first half hour and stay if you wanted to, but you could leave then afterwards, because I know you're more pressed for time. And then Valentin and I could stay for the second half. Does that sound okay and doable?
That sounds perfect for me. I just want this half an hour
Yeah.
protected time,
Yeah.
so we can help, and then Valentin can just, if you want to stay an extra half an hour. I don't have anything to say. It's just open source love, right?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Valentin.
Yes, it is okay. So we'll do it on Wednesday next week.
Wednesday. Is not going to be good for me because I'm away. But the week after, the 2 weeks after, are going to be good. But
Okay.
make
So Friday next week.
Friday next week and then move it the next.
Okay.
How many more weeks do we have?
Like 4 weeks.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, perfect.
That's awesome. Guys, I need to leave like 9 minutes
Yep.
ago. So I feel that this was a productive call.
Yep.
We addressed a lot of stuff, and yeah, keep me informed. Did you have any technical problems, or you want to talk about documentation?
Great.
Okay, bye, guys.
Take care now.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. See you later.
Bye.